Good afternoon, everybody. So earlier today, I was talking with a friend of mine, and she mentioned that she wishes that she had the ability to feed her family more healthful meals and to eat healthier herself, but she really couldn't afford it, and that eating healthy and eating real food is just too expensive, and that it was prohibitive for her family's budget. And I realized that that's how a lot of people think. And it doesn't have to be that way. It takes possibly a little bit more legwork on your part and sometimes a little bit more planning. But eating healthy does not have to be an expensive endeavor. I tend to plan my groceries bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks I go to different grocery stores. So this week I will be going to Publix and Aldi for my groceries. And then next week I'll hit Fresh Market or Whole Foods. Fresh Market is another sort of a holistic sort of a grocery store, similar to Whole Foods that we have here down in South Carolina. And I'll also go to Costco on that week. So every 2 weeks I kind of alternate where I do my grocery shopping so that I'm not doing all of my grocery shopping in one place where it might be a little bit more expensive. And that's hard for everybody's budget. So I thought that I would show you some staples that I buy in certain stores and that are significantly less expensive than what you would find somewhere else. So for instance, I do a majority of our cooking now with coconut oil, but I buy this Simply Nature coconut oil in Aldi, and it's Aldi now is not the grocery store that you remember it being. I've always shopped in Aldi. My husband used to be a district manager for them back when we first got engaged. So have always been very familiar with the quality of their products. However, I know not everybody has always felt that way. And they now have converted a lot of their grocery lines. So they have a line of products now called Simply Nature that's all organic. They've removed all MSG from their foods. They're in the process of removing high fructose corn syrup, and all of their dairy products are made without hormones. So I tend to buy their milk. I have 2 toddlers, so I buy milk 4 gallons at a time. I am very, very thankful that I have a second refrigerator in my garage because I keep the overflow milk in there and I only keep 1 container in my main refrigerator. But otherwise I would be going to the grocery store every day, and it's just, I don't have time for that. So I do most of my cooking with coconut oil, which I buy at Aldi, and this is $2. It's really inexpensive. When I buy beans, which I don't predominantly, I tend to buy my beans in bags, dried beans. They also sell those at Aldi, and they also sell them, their Simply Nature brand. I'll take their dried beans, I'll throw them in my crock pot all day whenever I'm not using the crock pot with 8 cups of water and a couple of bay leaves, and then just give them a quick rinse in single serving baggies, throw them in the freezer, whether it's the freezer that I keep in the house or the freezer in the garage, and then it's a lot easier to be able to just grab them. But if you need to buy canned beans, which I do keep like 1 can of certain ones in the house because they're my go-tos and I'll throw them in anything. So like black beans, I pretty much always have 1 can of black beans, and I always have a can of chickpeas. So this can of chickpeas, I bought at Publix, but I bought it at Publix because it was on sale, and they were 3 for like $2. So then I stock up when things are on sale. And it takes a little bit more legwork, but it's really not that hard. You can do it while you're doing your grocery shopping. And if you see something in the grocery store that you routinely use and it happens to be on a really good sale, stock up then. If you stock up then on just a couple of extra things, you don't have to go crazy, but If you stock up when you see these things on sale, it'll make a big difference in your budget later. The other thing is, just because something says BOGO does not mean you have to buy both of them. Or if it says 2 for $5. Most of the time, you don't have to buy 2. You can buy 1. 1 then is $2.50. If it says BOGO, it's buy one, get one free, then the price of one item gets split in half. So you wind up getting one item for 50% off. Most stores will let you do that. It's not a well-known thing, but it's a pretty easy tip to, if you only need 1 container of coconut oil and they're on BOGO, only buy 1. You don't have to have 2 in your cabinet. So I'll buy a can of my beans in Aldi sometimes, and they'll be less than $1. So this is a great thing to add into tacos, soups, stews. I'll throw it on top of salads. My kids love them. I try to put out a few different things that my kids like to eat for them to snack on after school, as opposed to them just grabbing whatever crackers or junk that they would like to eat. If I have some healthy options already out as soon as we get home from school, then they're more likely to grab those things. My 2-year-old thinks that black beans are delicious. She'll just sit there and pop them. It's a really easy snack. I am also honey. I will buy in Aldi, and salsa. I keep salsa on hand constantly because it's a great thing to add. First of all, with the 21-day fix, it's free. But it counts as a purple, but I use so little that I usually count it as like a teaspoon, and I don't really count it very often. Sometimes I give it to myself for free. But anyway, the salsa is super, super easy to add to things, to add a ton of flavor with really, really little bit of calories. I'll keep tahini on hand, especially now that I am back to making my own hummus, because I would prefer not to have hummus that's going to have some sort of illness and get my family sick. Really sick of all of our foods being getting recalled. So tahini, I buy this in Trader Joe's. It's really inexpensive. It's not a big jar, but this jar of tahini will last me like over a month, and like 4 or 5 batches of hummus. It doesn't take a lot to make hummus. So just a little bit of this goes a long way and adds a huge amount of flavor. Same thing with these. These are chipotle and adobo. They now sell them in Aldi. So I'll do this on my Aldi runs. And this is one of those things, big flavor, really, really small calorie impact. You can use 1 chipotle and adobo for an entire chili. Just as a hint, there's like way more than 1 in this can. So instead of just opening a can of chipotle and adobo and then wasting it, I open a can, I puree the entire can's worth of chipotle and adobo, just throw it into my blender or my food processor, process the whole thing, and then I portion it. So I'll put it into an ice cube tray, freeze it in those little ice cube containers. When it's solid and frozen, pop them out, throw them into a baggie, and then when you need chipotle and adobo, you can grab 1 cube instead of wasting it. And because otherwise I kept winding up with like I would use 1 little chipotle and adobo, and then I would put the rest of the chipotle and adobo can in my refrigerator, saying, oh, well, I'm going to use that later in the week, and then I would never use it. So that's a really good tip, and it's something you can do with a lot of stuff where you have a little bit of leftover. That happens frequently also with canned tomato paste or chicken stock. I'll do that with chicken stock as well. I know some people do that with wine, but I don't really ever have leftover wine. Maybe that's just in our house. I do the same thing with my diced tomatoes. We're Italian in this house, so we do a lot with canned tomatoes. That's okay, Gus. They'll just leave the package at the door. We do a lot with diced tomatoes in this house, so I will buy diced canned, crushed. Yes, that's UPS, guys. And I will keep them in my pantry just so that I can make a quick sauce. Super, super easy and really inexpensive. Again, about $1 for this big can of tomatoes. So it doesn't have to be expensive. And this is a really great thing to add. It's not overly processed. There's not a ton of salt. It's organic tomatoes, organic tomato juice, salt, and citric acid. There's no crazy ingredients that you can't pronounce. I like food that I can actually know what the ingredients are. The other big thing that I do is, this is arugula. I love arugula. 1 second, Sophie. I'm almost done. I will buy whatever salad greens are on sale. So I will buy salad greens. Yes, come here. Say hi. I buy salad greens when they're on sale. And I buy whatever's on sale. Whatever package is on sale. I'm not overly picky. You don't have to buy the exact same kind every time. You want to say hi too? Okay. You say hi too.
I didn't know. So that is good.
Yes, that's good. So, I will buy whatever salad greens are on sale, and those are the salad greens that I'll use for the week. You don't have to use things that are exactly what you're looking for. You can do your meal planning after you've looked at the circulars. There are ways to make sure that you save money and are working within your own budget, but are still eating a healthful diet. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.